3-3s has been making great Australian products since 1919. Threes has been making great Australian products since 19.
This afternoon, it's all about finishing with some pride for the Mighty Might Sydney Kings. Good afternoon and welcome to the Sydney Kings Basketball pre-game show. We're coming to you live from the Qantas Credit Union Arena, the one and only Kingdome, as the Kings take on the powerful Cairns Taipans. I'm your host, Matt McQuaid, and thanks to our naming rights sponsor, Mighty Might, and our other great partners, United Airlines, the Sydney Boulevard Hotel, Audio Technica, Glencoe Electrical, St George Bank, and Vic's Premium Quality Meat, we're coming to you live via sydneykings.com and the Sydney Kings TV YouTube channel. A special welcome to all fans at Sydney who couldn't make it to the game, those Taipan fans listening to us throughout the camp, our many fans listening throughout the New England region on Tune FM, and indeed all NBL fans with us this afternoon. Thanks very much, and I hope you enjoy our coverage. Joining me, as he always does in his fourth season as my broadcast partner, it's my pleasure to welcome NBL Championship winner, 1992 Grand Final Series Most Valuable Player, Bruce Bolden. And Bruce, on Friday night, the Kings were officially eliminated from playoff contention with their loss to Adelaide. What will they be looking to get out of these this season?
Well, here's a time where, during the course of the year, you have these times where teams need to regroup after maybe a losing streak or, things are not going well. Right now is the time where they know they're not going to make the playoffs. They need to find out if they can become a tighter team because the season's not over. Show some pride, show some professionalism, and go about things the same way as they did the start of the season. And there's no need for them to think that, well, it's the end of the season and we can just kind of, let everyone roll over us. That's something they just can't do as a professional.
And from Cairns' standpoint, they've certainly been one of the success stories this season. 18-7, they lead the league. They're in the hunt for the minor premiership. They probably have their most talented roster in recent memory.
Yeah.
Certainly, I would even venture to say it was better than the roster that Aaron Fearn had when they went to the grand final here a couple of years ago. How can the Kings get a W this afternoon against such a talented outfit?
Well, it's gonna start on the D, and that D has to start with the point guard role. Wilbekin is one of the two best point guards in the competition, and he just controls the team. They know him inside and out. He know their skill set. Each one of them know their own their teammates' personnel, and they go out and get it done. And I think the less of an impact he can have on the team, the better chances that the Kings can control the tempo, and that defense can filter down from the point guard all the way down to Trigar. We know what Loughton can do off that pick and pop. So it is a major challenge for the Kings. One that they should welcome. One that they should look forward to. Cairns is a very, very deep team, to the point where I'm sure at times, because it's so deep, players have, they probably struggle to find their niche, because there's another 4 or 5 guys that are flowing, and they just kind of have to squeeze in there occasionally. And that's a good spot to be in for Aaron Fern.
Yeah. And not very often, I'll preface my comment by saying this, not very often, but you as a player have been involved in these situations at times where you don't have much to play for, as in, your whole, basically when you were playing for Brian Gorgian, it was championship or bust for you guys. But, at least you knew you were going to make the playoffs pretty much every year. 95, the first year you came in with the Kings, you didn't make the playoffs and you were out of it pretty much, very early in the season. As a player, the Kings are in this situation, as Josh Childress just walks past us. In this situation, how difficult is it to stay motivated under these kind of circumstances?
Well, you know what? For me, it wasn't difficult. You know why? Being in this situation, it added a little bit of anger in me to go out there and just give that little bit extra. Being in this situation, it made me a lot more determined to, give it just that little bit extra, win the games that we're not expected to win, such as tonight with the Cairns.
Yeah.
Rally my teammates around and say, hey, guys, make sure your head is in the right place. We're going out here for 4 quarters. We're going to make it tough for the opposition, and they're not going to leave here without a fight. The Kings are back at home, in front of their home crowd, in front of their family, in front of their familiar rims. So it's, as I just said, it should be no different of a mindset from now to first game of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that game on Friday night, let's talk about Kevin White, career high, 20 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Going into that game, he was something like 20% from the three-point line for his career. Must have given him an enormous confidence boost. I mean, what are you expecting out of him tonight?
Well, I'm sure he's, from that is on a nice high. He had been, looking to be productive from that three-point line all season long, and finally he got going on Friday night and, put them in a position where they had a chance to win. But from his point of view, I'm sure he's going to want to carry that into tonight's game, and it could be very much needed into today's game.
Okay, we've got about just under 8 minutes left until tip-off. We might run through the lineups for you, starting with the visiting team, Cairns Taipans. As we said, 18-7 on the year, and they've been outstanding. They lead the league at the moment. Same amount of wins and losses as New Zealand, so those two are going to be fighting it out for the minor premiership. Their starting unit, Scotty Welbekin. Point guard, as Bruce talked about, one of the 2 best point guards in the league. Out of the University of Florida, SEC Player of the Year last year, and SEC Tournament Most Valuable Player. Probably will wind up in the NBA at some stage.
Yeah.
At the 2 spot, Cameron Glidden, captain of the team, and a sharpshooter, great 3-point shooter. At the 3 spot, Stephen Way, and we know what Stephen's capable of at the 3, can get hot in a hurry. Alex Loughton, as Bruce talked about, great on the pick and pop. Outstanding talent out of Old Dominion University. Matthew Burston, the starting 5-man veteran of the league, and over the years. Coming off the bench for the Taipans, import Torrey Craig, high-flying athlete. Sean Bruce, much improved point guard. Mitch Young out of St Mary's University, he's a workhorse inside. Cameron Trigar, probably the best 6-man in the league. I don't think there's too many better than him coming off the bench. And Nathan Sobey is their point guard. He's their 10th man. Head coach for the Taipans is Aaron Fern, assisted by Mick Downer, and to Bruce Bolden for the Sydney lineup.
Starting with their team captain, Ben Madsen, at the guard. In the backcourt with him is Kendrick Perry. In the middle, Josh Dunker is still in there for Angus, even though Angus is back on in the 10 now. Their 4-man, Tom Garlop. And coming off a great game against on Friday, Kevin White is in the starting lineup as well. Off the bench, Cody Ellis, James Trustin, Angus Brent, as I said, back on the team from his injury. Mado Cho, Ben Kieran, Daniel Joyce, giving them some good defense, and backup point guard Jason Kadee. Head coach Damian Cotter, assistant coach Robbie McKinley, team manager is Lori Waddleson.
So those are the lineups. We're just about to have the Kings introduced on. Bruce, just wanted to talk to you briefly about Angus Brandt coming back in. A bit of a surprise. He came back in against 7 points and 10 boards. You know, the 10 rebounds is a welcome addition for the worst rebounding team in the league all year. You know, Angus obviously a bit rusty, but showed some good signs against Adelaide, I thought.
Not bad at all. You know, I think from that he'd be pretty confident and pretty happy with his performance. And if he can add to that performance today, it's going to go a long way in helping the team get a victory today. And I think for Angus, he just got to go out there and play, not think about the injury, not think about certain moves that might, twins, and just play. Yeah.
Daniel Joyce being introduced to the crowd, and I mean, we'll have obviously lots of time to think about who we're going to see next year, but I think even right now it's safe to say we're probably going to have a few changes. Certainly one of them will change. I think that's not really a secret that Kendrick won't be back, and I think Damien will be looking for someone a bit more experienced. I think that's really a lesson that's been learned, hasn't it? I mean, unless you do get a Scotty Wilbekin who's played at a very, very good college in a power conference in the US against NBA players every single day that he was. Yeah. You have Kendrick out of a mid-major college, not experienced at all. I mean, and it is a step up.
It is, and he's found that out. And despite the season not being what he expected, what we all expected, I can guarantee you he would have learned a lot from this season and probably be better prepared when he go and get his next, play for his next professional team.
Cody Ellis just being introduced. Kings come out in their home purple, Taipans in their orange, and no doubt you can actually see them at quite a few members of the Orange Army making the trip. They do a great job with that. Everywhere they are, everywhere you go in the league, there's members of the Orange Army, Bruce. Yeah. It's great to see. Yeah. All right, we're just about to have the national anthem of Australia.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We go in soil and well, for toil our home is goodbye sea. Our land abounding nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare, in history's every stage, advance Australia fair. It's joyful strains and let us sing, advance
National anthem of Australia. So we've got about just under 5 minutes left before tip-off here, and want to remind everybody, remember to check out the Game Time Twitter feed on @Sydney Kings. Check out our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Sydney Kings, and don't forget to visit the Sydney Kings website, www.sydneykings.com. Sydney Kings all our upcoming broadcasts, and the Sydney Kings Lion face best mascot in the NBL. And of course, remember the NBL website, www.nbl.com.au. NBL, bring it. So as customary on Sydney Kings Radio, it's time to do our shout-outs. Firstly from me to FM in Armidale, and once again it's great to be partnering with Tune FM, our third season with them, and great to have everyone's company in Scone and Muswellbrook and Tamworth and Armidale and all the great towns in the New England region. Lots of Kings fans up there, I know. to Dan and Marnie Ewing, who will be listening in from Los Angeles, and their beautiful son Archie, who's growing up way too fast. Some young man that he is. He's going to be a heartbreaker without a doubt with two beautiful looking parents. Why wouldn't he be?
No question.
So hi guys, I hope you enjoy the coverage and the boys can get a W for you, and for Dan, I hope your boy Kevo has the sort of game he had in Adelaide, because I think we're all hoping for that. He was fantastic in Adelaide and really great to see. And of course my boss, she's in the building with her
Yes.
mum, dad, her sister, and her nephew, who is got a line. It's almost as big as him, and he's dressed him up in Madgen's singlet. So it's great to see. So to everyone
Nice
out there,
work.
we hope you enjoy our coverage. I know Bruce would like to say hello to the Flintstones, who I know will be listening.
Yes.
Even though it's sort of late over there in the US.
Yeah, big shout out to the family in Flint. Also, a shout out to my son, as always, and his teammates who are playing University of Cal at the moment. And with 30 seconds to go, UCLA up by 162.
Come on, Bruins.
Cal 61. So let's get it done, boys. And
Yeah, they've come back from a big deficit to get there, Bruce.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it'd be a shame if they let that go.
Yep, and big shout out to Cairns fans. You know, we said how the Orange Army is in the house here, and if those are listening out at up at Cairns, welcome. We try to be not too biased. Call a great game, have a lot of laughs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look. This is a great team, and
No, it's no
they've
question about
been a pleasure to watch. I mean,
Yep.
it's interesting today, Bruce. If they win, this is an amazing stat. If they win today's game, it'll be the first time in their history that they will have a winning record on the road in the season. It's
Yeah.
amazing for a team that's made the grand final. Even in that year, they weren't even at 500 in that year, which was
Yeah.
incredible. It was just that they were so awesome at home at the State Pit.
Well, Matt, I can tell you this right here. If you have a winning record on the team, that says a lot about your
On the road,
unit.
yeah.
That says a lot about the team as a unit. You know, the togetherness that they can have on the road, knowing that 99.9% of the people in the stadium when you're on the road is against you. You got your teammates, you got the coach and the support staff, and maybe in this case your Orange Army. The rest is booing you. So to be successful as they are this season, it's great.
And I was going to ask you about that because a lot of that has to do with chemistry. I mean, you've played in some amazing basketball teams where not always the most talented units overall,
Yeah.
but guys that were just willing to sacrifice for the cause.
Yeah.
The Mike Kellys and the Darren Lucases
Yeah.
and the Darren Perrys and all
Yeah.
these guys who were hard-working, scrapping types. They weren't quote superstars, but that's what you need. And it seems like that this Cairns team has got that balance. They seem to have that balance of they've got their superstars, but they've got their really good role players who are willing to sacrifice for the team.
And they have an inside presence. They have guys who will come off the bench and do the dirty work, and play those valuable roles that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but at the end of the day, they're playing their vital role as everyone else is.
10 seconds to tip off here. And King's starting unit just being introduced. So Josh Dunker will get the start once again alongside Madgen, Perry, Garlop and Kevin White, who didn't start against Adelaide but was outstanding, as we said, with 20 points off the bench. So he'll get the start in place of Cody Ellis. Again, Bruce, so vital for the Kings to get off to a good start here. I mean, it seems obvious, but one of the things that's let them down when they have lost is just a slow start out of the blocks.
Well,
particularly against Adelaide, I'm thinking last week, there's just no energy.
Yeah, and I can tell you this much: Cairns will be wanting to do the same thing because they didn't come out all that well against on Friday as well against Perth.
The Matt Burston to jump centre against Josh Dunker. Josh giving up about 2 or 3 inches in height. Just looking at him, I mean, It's interesting. Burston listed at 6'11", Josh Dunker listed at 6'10", but when you look at them there, Bruce, it looks like there's a good 2 or 3 inches difference.
Yeah. Now they're long. Burston, he'd be very close to a footer. Yeah.
He'd have to be a 7-footer, wouldn't he? I mean, very close to it. I mean, he towers over Alex Loudon. Alex Loudon's a legit 6'10".
Yeah.
So they are very long. And then when you're bringing Cameron Tregar off the bench, it's quite the team. Here we go. Referee Vaughan Mayberry to throw. Tip controlled by it's out of bounds, so it was knocked out of bounds by Dunker.
Yeah.
So it'll be Cairns possession.
Yeah.
Matt McQuaid and Bruce Bolton here with you on Sydney Kings Radio and Tune FM. Taipans Kings at the Kingdome, Sunday afternoon. Loudon looking for Way, but White's picking him up. Very physical with him down low. Loudon up fakes the 3, now goes into the paint, launches a jumper and hits it.
Good start for him. They had a couple of options. Kings did well at closing them, and then Alex came around for a good 1-2 dribble pull-up.
Loves this court, does Alex Loudon. So Taipans up 2-0. Here's Perry with 10 on the shot clock. Attacks the hoop. Perry with a right-hand scoop. Nice shot. Good offensive rebound by Duncan. Misses it. Gets it back. Chases his own rebound again, and the Kings will reset. 8 on the shot clock. So Duncan had an easy layup, and he missed it. Now with 4, Garb's got to pull up and hit.
Nice shot. Those are the one dunker. He needs to finish those, though. He just got to have a little bit more patience to come down and go up strong with it.
Score is tied at 2. We've had a minute gone by in the opening period. Matty Burston lays it off to Way. Lout looking inside for Burston, but Josh Dunker knocked it away, fronted him very well in the post there. It was good defense by Dunker.
It was.
So the Kings trying to get a bit tougher on the inside. It's been a real problem of theirs all year. 9 on the shot clock. Yeah,
well, they're looking like they're playing physical basketball at the moment, and that's what you want.
It'll be Way to inbound. Looking for Glidden. Finds him on an easy curl cut. Imagine trailed him and there was no communication, no help, and Glidden had an easy layup, and it's 4-2 to Cairns. 8:45 left in the opening period. White right side guarded by Wilbekin. Now Dunker lays it off to Perry. Finds Madgen, up fakes. Madgen goes into the paint, rejected, but there's a foul. So it looks like just going to check this foul call here. Pushing foul on Matty Burston, so he's got Madgen underneath.
Yeah.
That's his first, and team's first. Ben Madgen shooting 85% from the free throw line on the season. Top 10 in the league. At the line for 2. Free throw, swish.
Yeah, I thought they might have shown a replay of that, but didn't see it.
Madgen coming up for another one. Ball in the air. That's short that time. Commentators curse, and then we've got a foul over the back. I believe that'll be on Josh Dunker. And it is. No, check that. It's on Garlop. Garlop shaking his head. 14. That's his first. Kings putting some heat up the floor, but the Taipans break it through Cameron Glidden. Madgen picking him up. Matty Burston. Right-hand dribble, and Josh Dunker bodying up on him has been called for the foul.
Yeah, you know what? He's putting a little too much pressure on him out there. He's only going to do really one thing, is hand it off. And if you allow him to make contact, you put yourself in that position where you get called for a foul.
Stevie Way inbounds the ball to Loughton. Now Burston top of the key. Glidden beyond 3. Dumps it down low to Way. Looks for the cross-court pass, but it's knocked away. Stolen by Garlop. Pushing up the floor. Garlop almost stolen by Wilbekin. Finds Perry. Wilbekin goes to him. 16 on the shot clock. Perry getting a pick from Dunker. Still Perry. Finds Garlop. Garlop on the dribble drive. Kicks it out. Perry. Baseline 3. Yes! So Perry hits one from the wing, and that should be good for his confidence, Bruce.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I thought he got the ball just before that. Should have and didn't really look at the basket. He should have.
Loughton looking for Burston, throws it away.
He forced that. Josh did another good job of playing good defense by three-quarter fronting Matt Burston and forced Loughton to throw it at a bad angle.
So the Kings lead is 2, 6-4, 7:44 left in the opening period. Here's Tommy Garlop, now Perry, guarded by Wilbekin, top of the key. Now finds Madgen. He pulls up for 3. Yes!
Nice shot.
So back-to-back threes from the Kings, and they lead by 5. Oh, imagine leveled by a screen from Loughton. Meanwhile, here's Glidden for three. He misses. Loughton chases it down, and the Taipans, will reset. Now Glidden kicks it to Loughton for three. That's long. Another offensive rebound to Stevie Way, but there's a foul. Yeah. Call the foul on Kevin White, I believe, and they do for a hold.
Sorry, man. They're going to have to really make some adjustments to that on-ball situation.
Just seeing that replay on the big screen of Loughton just leveling Madgen with a huge pick.
Yeah, Tommy didn't give Madge a warning.
He's Loughton inbounds. White inbounds to Loughton now. Wilbekin gets a pick, finds Burston. Burston just goes into the paint. Layup is good off the window, and again, they just found an open lane, and the Kings just didn't respond to it. No communication. 9-6, sitting up by 3. Garlop lays it off to Perry, guarded by Stevie Way. Now Kevin White looking for Dunker. Dunker fighting with Burston, can't get it to him. Instead, it's Garlop top of the key. 7 on the shot clock, gives it off to Madgen. Madgen, left-hand dribble, kicks it out, and he throws it away, out of bounds. So the Kings a little bit messy on that possession, Bruce.
Yeah, I think what Madge was expecting him to be in that position there. They got areas on the floor that they need to be in certain parts of their offenses, and I think Madge was saying that Kevin wasn't on that spot.
Taipans making some substitutions. Torrey Craig and Cameron Chigara in the game. Meanwhile, here's Loughton, left-hand dribble in the paint, kicks it out to Glidden, now Craig, now Wilbekin. They're looking for Chigara in the post. They've got a mismatch. They double team him, cross-court pass. Glidden quickly to Craig. Craig with a deep three, and that's short. Big rebound by Josh Dunker.
Yeah.
Good to see. Here's Perry sprinting down the court. Perry attacking the poop. Has to kick it out. Locked away by Craig to Wilbekin. Here's Trigar all on his own. Trigar goes into the paint and scores. So the Taipans cut the Kings lead to 1. It's 9-8. So a couple of costly turnovers last couple of possessions from the Kings.
Yeah, it was. Just need to have a little bit more patience in offense.
Like how Dunker's been physical out there so far, Bruce. He hasn't been that physical this year, but it's been good to see. Now Garlop up fakes. Garlop stepped through. Garlop fouled. Had a mismatch against Wilbekin, and Wilbekin's going to get called for a foul. That'll put Tommy Garlop on the line for 2, and Angus Brandt is going to come into the game to replace Josh Dunker. And tell you what, apart from that missed layup that he should have made, I think Josh Dunker can be pretty happy with his performance.
He's doing a real good job of this, being aggressive. He's making a statement with the big guys that they're going to have to work for whatever they get.
Garlop free throw is short. And Tommy on the year, nearly 80%, but just recently just having some problems from the free throw line. Second one coming up. Takes his time and hits that one. So it's 10-8, Kings by 2. 5:50 left in the opening period here from the Kingdome in Sydney. Trigar, left side to Craig. Garlop, they double team him with White. Now Glidden. Glidden turns the corner, has to kick it out. Wilbekin launches a 3 and buries it from the baseline. And that's the prove it to me shot, Bruce, with Scotty Wilbekin, is that perimeter game. It's probably the weakest part of his game. Yeah,
you know what? He's such a pass-first point guard to where there's a lot of times where he probably should take the jumper.
Taipans lead is 1, 11-10. 5:20 left in the opening period. Here's Perry with 6 on the shot clock. Wilbekin sticking right to him. Perry fades off the window and is fouled. And that will be on Wilbekin, and that's Wilbekin's second personal foul.
Yeah, I think it's very unlucky for that because he did play some very solid defense, but he got that on-the-road call.
So Sean Bruce is going to come into the game to replace Wilbekin. And Wilbekin is furious and a few expletives as he goes to the bench. Right, we heard those very clearly. But I agree with you, Bruce. He was very hard done by on that call. That looked like just solid defense on Kendrick, and that the officials gave Kendrick the benefit of the doubt.
Well, what did I say at the pregame? One of the things is you want to lessen the impact of Wilbekin out on the court there. Now, he's not on the court now, so it's an opportunity for the Kings and Kendrick to take advantage of that. No disrespect to Bruce, who's come in to replace Wilbekin.
Perry made the first free throw. Second is in the air, and it's good. Kendrick Perry has 5, and the Kings' lead is 1. It's 12-11. 5:10 left in the opening period here. Here's Glidden, guarded by Perry. Kings in a man. Here's Trigar. Pulls it all the way out behind 3. Finds Loughton on the elbow. He's guarded by Cody Ellis into the game now. And Ellis knocks it away, but Craig picks it up. 5 on the shot clock, 4. Glidden launches a deep 3, back iron no good. Straight to Kendrick Perry on the defensive glass. His Perry flies to the rack, throws up a wild shot, but it's tipped in by Cody Ellis.
Good response by Cody. Way to get back.
The crowd loved that. It's 14-11. Kings leading now. Tregar inside, forget about it. Layup is good.
Low action between him and Loughton.
Excellent pass inside by Alex. Found Trigger and he scored, and it's 14-13. Trigger, that's his first basket of the ball game. Here's Magin. Finds Ellis down low. Ellis up fakes. Now goes up and he's short. Offensive rebound, Brandt. A lot of Taipans in there. Yeah. But Angus Brandt reverse layup is good. Nice play.
Yeah, it was. He found an opening that I didn't even see.
Now Trigger spin move. Trigger inside. Score it. Are they going to count him? No, they're saying it's on the floor. No basket.
Angus, yeah, sorry, Matt.
No, go Bruce, yeah.
No, Tregar, he knows how to post up down there, and Angus has got to prevent him from getting in that spot. Once he gets the ball in that spot, he's very tough to guard, and Angus is finding that out now. As
we say, the man with a million moves. I've called him that for years, and he's got moves like Tim Duncan and Kevin McHale, two of his idols, and Dirk Nowitzki over the years. So Taipan possession down 3. 16-13 to Sydney. 4 minutes left in the opening period. Here's Bruce. Bruce to Tregar, baseline. Tregar, one dribble, shoots and scores. That line drive jumper. Yeah. Trigger's got 5, and the Taipan deficit is 1. It's Sydney 16, Cairns 15. 3:43 left in the opening period. So Tregar got 4. Sorry, check that. Now Ellis goes hard to the rack, scoring the foul on Mitch Young. And Cody Ellis has been aggressive and active right from the time he stepped on the court. That was a great move, just really tough.
And the thing I liked about it too, Matt, is Mads found him. Mads didn't come off there automatically thinking shot. He recognized that he had drew the 2 defenders, which opened things up for Cody, and Cody finished strong.
So Ellis, 2 of 3 out of the gate. And the free throw was good, so that's a 3-point play. And the Kings are back out by 4. 19-15, 3:35 left in the opening period. And now there's a foul in the open court. And that's on Daniel Joyce.
Yeah, Daniel.
And it's one of those really tough fouls, Bruce, because that puts them Kings in the penalty, and Cairns will shoot too.
Yeah, and I think that the intention is not to really put too much pressure on it, but just disrupt them flowing into their half-court offense. And for the King to fall back into a man, and they just need to stay in front of the dribbler, as Daniel just found out.
Sean Bruce hits the first, second one coming up, ball in the air, and it's good. 2-2 to the line for Bruce, and it's 19-17. Jason Cadee in the game now for Kendrick Perry. So the Kings with 4 players off the bench, and Ben Magin, who has the ball now, is exploring against young Nathan Sobey's in the game, and now we've got an offensive foul. Looks like Angus Brandt, too much of the elbow. And
I don't know, I didn't see it.
Garlop is going to come into the game. He's going to replace Angus. That's Angus's second personal foul.
Yeah, you know what, I like that, but at the same time, he's got to be careful, because I think what Angus is doing, he's just trying to be aggressive, just like Tregar is down there. He want to battle with him, which I like.
So Nathan Sobey and Sean Bruce as Aaron Fern going deep into his bench. Now Young with 10 on the shot clock finds Trigger at the elbow. Now Sean Bruce, 7 on the shot clock. Bruce looking down low for Tregar, fumbles it, picks it up, turns, fires and hits from the baseline. Tough. That's a tough shot.
Tough.
Cameron Tregar has 6 and the game is tied at 19. What a player he is. Just can make something out of nothing so many times. Here's Garlop. Garlop just fumbles it away. He was looking to post up Tregar and lost it. Here's Bruce on the break. Bruce, great pass to Sobey, but he missed the reverse layup. Offensive rebound, Mitch Young, and he's fouled by Cody Ellis. So the Taipans just in the last few minutes just working their way into this game, Bruce.
Yeah,
Kings have played pretty well for the most part, and but just as Damien Cotto, I think he's recognised, Taipans just taking over control in the last couple of minutes. It's come out Sydney and never chat about it.
But here's the times where to really just slow down a little bit, have a little bit more patience, make that extra pass or two to keep Cairns on defense and better their chances of executing the play. If they take a tough shot, miss it, Cairns are off and running, or if they don't pass that ball around to put Cairns on that defensive pressure, they don't control the momentum.
So they'll be at the line for 2 coming out of this timeout. It'll be Mitch Young, but Cameron Trigard 3 of 3 from the field, and really he had that great spin move for the layup, and the other 2 have just been broken plays, and he's just hit line drive jumpers, and he can score from anywhere on the court virtually. I mean, anywhere within 15 feet, he is deadly.
Well, and his mindset is no such thing as a bad shot, and that's okay with that mentality, and he has a good percentage of making them, and he also has the ability to make the tough shots like that one was just there.
It's interesting, Bruce. You know, you talk about Scotty Wilbekin being out, but they've got a terrific backup point guard. Sean Bruce is one of the most improved players in the league. I saw him play up in Townsville against the Crocodiles in the Reptile Rumble a few weeks ago, and he was terrific, and he's just really taken him. And he and Mitch Norton of Townsville, I think, are 2 young guys that have taken a step.
Well, and you know why that is? It's because they've played with good players and have learned from it. You know, he was with Jamar Wilson the last couple of years.
That's right.
Now he's with Wilbekin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's learning a lot in practice that's translating into the game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Young misses the first. Second one coming up. Ball in the air, and that's short. Rebound, Garlop. Pulls it down strong, gives it up to Kadee, sets a huge pick. And here's Kadee into the front court. Kadee looking to explore, pulls it back out. Garlop top of the key. Right side is Daniel Joyce. Now Ellis beyond 3. They swing it around the perimeter. Kadee gets a pick from Ellis. Now finds Madgen. Madgen on a curl. Madgen fires in and out. Knocked away beautifully by Garlop. Kings recover it. Here's Madgen. He goes straight to the rack and is thrown out by Craig, but the foul has been called. Referee Vaughan Mayberry has called the foul on Trigger. You got Madge, piece of the head, and that'll send Madgen to the line for 2. So the score is tied at 19. Really entertaining game and a well-played game so far, Bruce, for the most part. And
actually, there's been a good turnout.
The crowd's actually surprisingly good, considering the circumstances the Kings are under.
Yeah.
Madgen rattles home the first. To be honest with you, I was a little pessimistic. I thought if we could get 3,000, we'd be doing well, but this is upwards of 4.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not a bad crowd on a Sunday afternoon. Madgen 2 of 2 at the line. Kings lead is back out to 2. It's 21-19. Madgen has 6 for the Sydney Kings. Kings putting some heat up the floor, but the Taipans break it. Now they fall back into a zone. Sobey getting some extended minutes here. Finds Trigard. Trigard gets into the paint and is fouled. So Trigard looked like Madgen returned the favour and hit him in the side of the head, and he did. So it'll be Trigger at the line for 2 on the year. Trigger shooting 75% with that. It's a real line drive. He doesn't put too much air under it.
Yeah, and he would get to the free throw line quite a bit.
Yeah, and he's a good free throw shooter too, and that's rattles home. We're trying the commentator's curse on Trigger. He'll kill me later on. He finds out about it. Yes. And makes them both. Trigger has 8. He leads all scorers, and it's 21 apiece with just under 2 minutes left in the first period here at the Kingdom. Matt McQuaid and Bruce Bolton here with you on Sydney Kings Radio and Tune FM. Kadee to Madgen on a curl. Madgen pick Trigger. He's got Trigger isolated on a mismatch. He's looking to take advantage of him. Instead, kicks it out to Ellis. Ellis kicks it back. Madgen, baseline, 3, swish.
Nice.
And Madgen.
Nice combination there, recognizing when they got double to the open man.
Madgen's got 9, and it's 24-21. He takes over game-high scorer. Sobey finds Craig, left side. Craig, Trigger, elbow, jumper, short. Offensive rebound, Craig, and he's being held. And that's 2 shots.
Yeah, that was on Madgen.
And it'll be on Madgen. That's his second personal foul. Kevin White's going to come out to replace him. Kendrick Perry also coming into the game, and it likely will take out Daniel Joyce. Josh Dunker also. So the Kings mass substitutions. Madgen shaking his head. But a good period from Madge, 9 points.
Very good period. And
good period from Cody Ellis as well. He takes the seat for the last minute and 16 seconds.
And so far in this first quarter, it's a good one for the Kings. You know, they already have 24 points.
Have struggled to put points on the board as Craig makes the first. And not surprising with, you lose the league leading scorer.
Yeah, of course.
And you're, the guy who's pretty much a do everything player for you. One more for Torrey Craig in the air, and it's good. 24-23. Taipans sticking right with the Kings early. Now there's some pressure, and man, unfortunately, Gallup on the inbound just makes a fatal mistake. Well, throws it off the back of the backboard, and it's turnover.
The fatal mistake was allowing the referee to hand you the ball underneath the basket. It was underneath the basket, which is what the referee shouldn't do, but got caught out in that position, and unfortunately for Tommy, he hit the bottom of the basket.
And it's a bad turnover, so it's Taipans possession with a fresh 24. Here's and they almost give it to hand on a Loughton pass, but Craig cleans it up. Here's Bruce to Loughton beyond 3. Now Soapy getting a pick, looking for the pick and roll. Loughton, super pass inside. And that's great ball movement from the Cairns Taipans. Matty Burston finishes off the window, and the Taipans are in front by 1. 25-24 with under a minute left, and now Craig, he's saying Perry's holding him, but referee will call the foul on Torrey Craig. And again, both teams are in the penalties, so it'll be Kendrick Perry at the line for 2. Perry with 5 in the ball game, and on the year he's a 74% free throw shooter. Craig takes a seat and replaced by Stevie Way. Perry free throw in the air and good. Played pretty solidly so far, Bruce.
Yeah, he's had a good first
and
quarter.
I thought he played pretty well in Adelaide as well. 12.7 assists. That was his assist high for the year, and he's really struggled sort of as a floor leader as he makes the second. So
yeah,
Kings back. They go back and forth. 25. Sobey with 45 seconds left. Finds Loughton, now Bruce. Now it's knocked away by Garlop. Good hands. Dunker had Garlop, but the Taipans were back.
Yeah, good deflection.
So that was an excellent deflection by Garlop. His hands are everywhere at the moment. Now finds Kevin White, up fakes a 3. Now finds Perry, going baseline, and he's fouled by Bruce. Blocking foul. And the aggression, Bruce, and it's good to see again. I mean, Perry's playing with a lot more confidence than we've seen him in recent weeks.
He's also playing with composure, where he's able to make a good decision. Now, he knew he had a slight edge on going to the basket there and caught Sobey, I think it was, off balance, and now he's at the free throw line.
And makes the first. So he's perfect at the line so far. He's 5 of 5 for his 8 points. Second leading scorer behind Ben Madgen in the first quarter. Second one is also good. So Kendrick Perry, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And the Kings lead by 3, 28-25. So they're off to a flyer. 20 seconds left. Now there's a travel. Good defense by Perry. Forces Nathan Sobey too many steps. And the Kings will have the ball with 25 seconds left.
That aggression defensively is starting to pay
right down for the last shot. Garlop right side. Finds Dunker. Now Kevin White. 10 on the shot clock. White looking for Garlop. Can't find him. Now decides to cross over. Go himself. Steps back. Falls away and is short. Rebound Way. Stevie Way throws it up with 1 second left. Almost banked it in from halfway.
Yeah, it was close.
But he missed. And that's the end of a very entertaining first period here at the Kingdome with your score. The Mighty Might Sydney Kings 28. The Cairns Taipans 25. And Bruce, your thoughts on a really good first quarter? Both teams actually played pretty solidly.
Yeah, they did, and I think what I like about the Kings is they played aggressive. All the players played aggressive. You can see that when they got the ball offensively and also defensively. A couple of guys got in foul trouble, but it hasn't really hurt the team just yet. And that pressure from the Kings has created some turnovers where the Kings has been able to go back and penalize it by making the basket. So very good quarter for the Kings. They need to replicate that and bring that same energy and aggression on the court in the second quarter.
So the Kings shooting 50% from the field. They've hit 3 or 4 threes, which has been big for them. They're 11 of 13 from the free throw line. So getting to the free throw line really well in that first period, something they've been good at all year. Yeah. They're led both Madgen and Perry each have 9 apiece, so terrific start by both of them. Perry, as we said, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, so being aggressive, paying off. Cody Ellis, I thought, fine minutes off the bench for him. 5 points in just under 4 minutes.
Yep, great minutes off the bench.
For the Taipans, they're shooting 56% from the field for them, so they're shooting pretty well. Cam Trigara, standout off the bench. 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting for Trigger. He's been outstanding. the starting unit really haven't done too much. 3 points for Wilbekin. Torrey Craig has 4. So their bench has 16 of Cairns' 25 points.
Yeah, and you know, that could be kind of something that they individually are aware of and probably don't want that to happen 2 quarters in a row. So
Wilbekin's foul trouble obviously a key as well, Bruce.
Yeah, but you know, be very mindful of Loudon coming out in this second quarter and having an impact. You know, and that's Burston would give him an inside presence, and even you know, we know what he's capable of.
So Kings come out with Perry, Cadee, Garlop, Dunker and White. Again, Madgen in foul trouble. Taipans coming out with their starting unit again. So this will be interesting. Wilbekin with 2 personal fouls is out there with Stevie Way, Alex Loughton, Matty Burston and Cam Glidden.
Well, you know, coming out with Wilbekin, that's just telling you what Aaron is thinking about. He's not saving him whatsoever. It's a matter of coming out here and taking charge.
So we're underway. Here's Cadee. Cadee pulls up for 3. It's short. Garlop, great offensive rebound. And Cadee trying to find Garlop, but stolen by Wilbekin. Wilbekin read that all the way.
Well, that's one where Jason should have just brung it back out and ran a good offense.
So here's Glidden in the front court, guarded by Perry. Interesting that Perry's guarding Glidden at the moment, giving up some size, and now he knocks it away out of bounds. So Kendrick Perry really having a fine game early, Bruce.
Well, I like the fact that Kings are getting their hands on a lot of balls, and it's disrupting Cairns' offense.
It'll be Glidden to inbound the ball. Such an important game for Cairns. Minor premiership and home court advantage on the line. There's a great feed by Burston to Glidden, but he missed a layup.
Yeah.
Looked like he just tried to do too much instead of the simple thing.
He should have finished that one.
So here's Kevin White. Kings leading by 3 and possession. White to Garlop. Double team quickly. Garlop facing up now against Stevie Way. Now he kicks it back out to White. Dumps it down back to Garlop. Garlop spins, fires, goes into the paint with a drop step, but misses.
Unlucky. Really good move. I think he was waiting on the double team that didn't happen.
Cairns possession off the rebound. Here's Wilbekin. Finds Glidden left side beyond 3, guarded by Cadee. Burston coming to set a pick. Finds Loughton top of the key. They leave Loughton alone. He launches it. He's long. Rebound Cadee. So the Taipans coming out a bit cold out of the break. So the score remains 28-25. It's Kings possession. Here's Kevin White. Finds Dunker. Lays it off to Perry beyond 3. Perry looking for the pick. Now he's isolated against Loughton. Perry steps back, fires 3. That's long. Rebound Stevie Way. So both teams are struggling out of the gate offensively after a very well played opening period. Matty Burston to Wilbekin, looking for the give and go. It's not there. Instead, Loughton quickly. Now Stevie Way 3. That's long. Rebound Cadee. Kings running. Here's Cadee sprinting down the court. Here's Perry now. Perry knocks over Wilbekin. Offensive foul. So check that. It was Cam Glidden, I should say. It was blocked by Damien Cotto, coach of the Kings, from our position.
Again.
I thought he was almost there. I think it was a bit of a...
I didn't actually think he was there on that one.
Yeah. So Cadee is substituted out by Madgen.
So I'm hoping to see a replay of that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get it, unfortunately, on the big screen. So ball back in play. Here's Cam Glidden, pushes off Madgen to Wilbekin, now Loughton. Now Stevie Way, right side. Finds Glidden. Back to Way. Way looking down. Stolen by Perry. Perry in the open court. Perry goes hard to the rack and scores.
Nice steal.
So there's the first bucket from either team in the quarter, and it comes from Kendrick Perry. He has a game-high 11 points, and the Kings lead by 5, 30-25, 7:35 left to half-time. Wilbekin uses a pick. Now Dunker jumps out aggressively. Wilbekin breaks it. Someone's open. Glidden up fakes, goes right past Madgen, goes into the paint, score it off the window. Nice play, nice drive from Cam Glidden, and it's 3 point. It's a 3-point ball game.
Very nice move.
30-27. So Glidden, 4 points in the game. Here's Madgen, down low to Garlop. They're double teaming Garlop every time, it seems. Finds Perry. Perry for 3. Yes! And puts the guns in the holster. Kendrick Perry, he's got 14, 5 in this period.
He's having a great first half.
33-27, 6:52 left to half time. Kings is there. That's their biggest lead, 6. Now they get it to Burston. He finds Way, baseline 3, and it wedges itself between the basket and the backboard. And it's going to be on the possession arrow. They're going to give it back to the Taipans. And Damien Cotter just having a bit of a laugh with the officials on the bench just to make sure they got the call right. And we're going to time out on the floor here to Cairns. And so the Kings, Kendrick Perry having a fine first half. But really, as you said, Bruce, the one thing we're seeing from the Kings, they're getting in the passing lanes, they're being aggressive, and they're getting deflections. We haven't really seen that yet.
I can sense that there was a big emphasis on, before there's an on-ball screen, double the ball handler and don't let him be able to make that pass that they want. Keep your hands up and get a deflection. And that's been happening every time Cairns get in that situation, and it's been effective.
It's one of those things, Bruce. It looks like they've made, as you say, with that pick and roll action, and they've made a conscious decision to get the ball out of Wilbekin's hands. Clearly,
yeah. And the thing is, the Kings have known how unsuccessfully they've been against the on-ball screen situation, and knowing what Cairns can do that with Loughton, with Way, and with Wilkin, being able to come off that on-ball screen and create opportunities. So they want to prevent all of that.
So another thing you got to say, and even with all the adversity and they can't make the playoffs and everything, the one thing you will say is these guys are playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing hard for Damien Cotter, and it says a lot. He's been trying to foster this positive culture change, and really, look, they've made a lot of mistakes with recruiting, I think. It's safe to say, but by the same token, if they get that right next year and start, getting some of these guys that they're going to go after in free agency, could build something pretty special.
Yeah, and you know what, Matt? These guys also have to play pride for themselves as individual players.
Ball back in play. Here's Way, who's been quiet so far, and good aggressive D. Wilbekin launches it with 1 second on the clock, and he buries a triple. What a shot by Scotty Wilbekin. His second three-pointer of the game, and it's a three-point ball game.
And good heads up for recognizing the shot clock was down to 1 second.
It's the one part of his game he's been looking to improve. If he's going to make the show, sloppy turnover from Kendrick Perry. Now he's Stephen Way. Layup is good. Nice. Just picked up a poor fumble by Kendrick Perry, and it's back to a 1 point ball game just like that. 33-32 with 6 minutes left to half time. Dunker, Perry, using a pick from Dunker. Looking for Madgen, can't find him. Good defense from Glidden. Now Gallup. Nice pass to Dunker, and he finishes that time. Nice. So Tommy Gallup, that double teaming him. Josh Dunker is going to get open looks all the time if he moves off the ball. So here's Burston. Now Wilbekin's hot and hits another one. Yeah. 3 threes for Scotty Wilbekin, and the Taipans tie it up at 35.
He's feeling it.
So Wilbekin and Perry, best mates from their young days. Now Madgen, nice pass to Gallup, and he's fouled. So that was good pick and roll action between Gallup and Madgen. And Gallup got the ball back from Madge on the pick and roll and drew the foul. And so I'll just to finish that thought, Perry and Wilbekin, as Perry takes the seat, replaced by Jason Gadee. They both, very familiar with each other's games.
Yeah, they are.
It's good to see what's happening. But Scotty Wilbekin, he's got 9 points, all from 3 of 3, and you wouldn't have picked that coming into the game. He's not been a great three-point shooter all year. No,
but he's getting himself in a good position, feet set. He hit one, then he hit another one, and why not shoot the third? And I can guarantee you, give him that, that opportunity again, he's going to shoot it.
Gallup struggling a little bit from the line today, misses another one. One more to come. Ball in the air, and that's good. Rattles it home. So it's 36-35. Kings lead by 1. 5:23 left to half time. Terrific game we've got here on Sunday afternoon for you on Sydney Kings Radio and Tune FM. It's Burston. Glidden. Tregar. Now Craig, right side, back to Tregar. He's got Burston on an easy seal. Burston blows a layup. They're chasing it down. Craig pulls it down. Offensive rebound. Throws it out. The Taipans. So offensive rebound's been a real problem for the Kings all year. Giving it up. Meanwhile, here's Wilbekin. He's hot. Now goes hitch dribble. Wilbekin flies to the rack, leaves it short. And that the clock should have reset. Taipans score anyway, which is the right call.
Referees recognise that.
The referees recognised it, let him play. So the Taipans lead by 1, 37-36. 4:35 left to half time.
Kings need a good possession here, Matt.
Nagin kicks it across. White up fakes the corner 3. Now tries to lay it off to Dunker, but he loses it to Wilbekin. Wilbekin kicks it out to Glidden for 3. Yes, no, short. I thought it looked good off the hand. I called it too early. Offensive rebound to Tregar, and the Taipans will reset. So,
well, that hurts you. They. Yeah, exactly.
Here's Wilbekin going baseline behind his back to Trigger. Trigger launches one, no good. Rebound, Dunker. Finds Magin. Magin looking to run, but the Taipans are back. So as you say, Bruce, Kings just a little bit out of sorts the last couple of minutes. Just need to set a play, run their offense.
Yeah.
Kevin White, top of the key with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Garlop laying it off to Magin. He's isolated against Torrey Craig with 4, with 3. He launches a 3. It's long. Rebound, Tregar. So again, not really running anything offensively over the last couple of minutes. Meanwhile, here's Glidden, steps back, launches a perimeter shot. Down, timeout Sydney. The Taipans skip out. They're out by 3. It's Cairns 39, Sydney 36. 3:28 left to halftime. Bruce, it's really been the Kings not playing well offensively that have allowed Cairns back into this.
What you need offensively, you need someone out there to get them on track offensively from a court leader point of view, recognizing, okay, what's the next play we should run, who's the hot guy that we should go at, or where is the opportunities, and that's not what they're doing. They're just kind of coming down and just running the offense for the sake of running the offense, whereas Cairns, they have a purpose to everything they do out on the court, and you can see that by way. That last full court possession there, he penetrated all the way to the basket and passed it out to Glidden out on the 3, and they had a good look, missed it, then they got the offensive rebound. That hurts.
Yeah, they're not getting much out of Jason Cadee so far, are they, Bruce? And that's the key. I mean, Kendrick Perry's run the team pretty well, and they have looked a lot better when he's on the floor. Yeah,
and he's having a break right now, and this is where Jason needs to, continue what he's done from his own point of view.
So the Taipans looking to extend this lead. It'll be Cairns possession out of the timeout. Cadee, Magin, Brandt. So check that. It's Sydney possession, of course, off the Taipan score. So here's Cadee. We've Sean Bruce out there now, so they're giving Wilbekin another break. So they got through that period and he didn't pick up his 3rd foul. So that was key for the Taipans. Ellis, Cadee steps into a 3 and makes it.
Needed that.
So that was big coming out of the timeout. Jason Cadee splashes a triple and ties it at 39. 39 apiece, 3:05 left to half time. Glidden dumps it down later to Tregar. Now Torrey Craig, top of the key. Finds Bruce to Burston. Nice pass inside to Trigger, and he scores with a right-hand hook shot. Great shot by Trigger. Yeah. Great pass inside by Matty Burston. And the Taipans lead is 41-39. Ellis. Joyce. Brandt comes to set a pick. Joyce uses it. Goes into the paint. Joyce throws it up and scores. So Daniel Joyce took the hit, scored it, and tied it at 41.
Way to be aggressive and attack the basket.
That's what the Kings have done pretty well for the most part today. Now here's Torrey Craig. Stops on a dime and hits it. Yeah. Rattles it home, so he attacked Magin.
That was just strength there.
And just powered it up and scored it from the baseline. And the Taipans are back in front, 43-41. Here's Joyce. Good defense by Bruce. Stops him right there. Brandt beyond 3. Finds Cadee, I should say. Cadee looking for Brandt inside, and it's knocked away out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a 50-50. That's one where Jason need to realize that Angus doesn't have those type of hops and just attack the basket with the floater.
Especially with the length of Burston as well. And Burston takes a seat, replaced by Mitchell Young. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Cadee looking to inbound, trying to find someone. Not much movement. Eventually finds Brandt. Back to Cadee. Cadee baseline 3, no good. Ellis grabs the O board and the Kings will reset. 12 on the shot clock. Daniel Joyce gets a pick from Brandt. Still Joyce. Joyce looking to attack. Goes hard to the rack, draws the foul,
Nice
and will go to
move.
the line. And Daniel Joyce looking to stay aggressive out there, Bruce.
Well, he's recognizing that on-ball situation and an opportunity he's off that, and he's being aggressive.
Cairns aren't switching that on ball at all, so you can actually attack.
No, they're not switching it because I think that's a case where they don't think Daniel's going to get anything out of it, but Daniel is recognizing there's a gap between and gets into the basket.
Free throw. So second one coming up and rattles that home. So he cuts the Cairns lead to 1. It's 43-42, 150 left to halftime. Bruce getting some pressure from Joyce and Kadee. Gets it to Glidden. 14 on the shot clock. Now Young, guarded by Brent. Baseline pass to Torrey Craig, but it's out of bounds. Craig couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah.
But good D by the Kings forces the turnover. 136 left to halftime. Sydney looking to finish out this half strongly. Brant to Kadee with 14 on the shot clock. Now Magin in for three. It's short. Rebound by Sean Bruce. It looked like Magin just a little bit off balance that time, Bruce. And now Craig just loses it. Magin fighting, and it's going to be a jump ball, and that'll be Kings' possession. On the possession arrow favours the Kings, so Torrey Craig, and he's done that, Bruce. I mean, I remember the last time that they played here, he had a couple of absolutely crazy turnovers, and the same in the Reptile Rumble up in Townsville. Just sort of, he just sometimes loses concentration.
Yeah, I think you get itchy feet too because he haven't really got going, and then as soon as he get it, he want to go and create something before actually, recognizing if there's something there or not. But in saying that, Matt, the Kings are doing a really good job of niggling and keeping Cairns off their offensive.
They're kind of off balance, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now Magin off the curl finds Joyce. Now 45-43. And they're playing with a certain level of confidence, Bruce, that we haven't seen in a while. Young. Still Mitchell Young looking for someone to pass to. Finds Bruce. 8 on the shot clock. Bruce looking to take Kadee baseline. Now pulls up from the baseline and hits it. Tough shot by Sean Bruce.
Tough shot.
So he ties it at 45. What a game we've got here.
Really
terrifically well played game so far. 29 seconds left. Here's Brant. Lays it off to Kadee. Kadee guarded by Bruce. Now finds Magin. Magin steps and rattles in and out. Oh, that was almost down.
That would have been down if the nets had been down too.
Yeah, the net wasn't down. And short, and actually Josh Childress is just going to try and fix it. Now Kendrick Berry goes to fix it, and there's a foul meanwhile, which is actually a good foul by Daniel Joyce.
Get that floor wiper over there who's daydreaming to get that net down.
Yeah, that's right. Floor wiper needs to do something about that. Meanwhile, they sit Magin and Brant for the last 11 seconds, and they'll call for time. Will Aaron Fern, but Jason Kadee doing a fine job off the bench. He's got 6, but fine job shooting. Probably hasn't led the team, as we said, Bruce, but at least he's been aggressive. But Daniel Joyce been a revelation in the last couple of minutes.
Well, you have the two of them doing things together in that second half, so it's making up, and hence why we have a tied game here, and it's really catching Cairns off guard because Cairns now have to play some defense. And then when they go to their offense, it's being disrupted. So they, as you said, they are off balance.
That's what we talked about before. The Kings do run that middle pick and roll a lot with the big guys, and a lot of times, when you're playing a Daniel Joyce, it's basically you hear it. You even hear it in timeouts. If it's Daniel or Kevin White, don't even bother guarding them.
Well,
so they're not even bothering to switch it.
That's right.
And Daniel's taking advantage of it, and that's exactly what you have to do. You keep harping on it.
Yes.
Be aggressive. Attack the basket. Draw fouls. Get to the line.
Yeah. Because if you had Kendrick or Madge coming off that on ball, they would get a lot more attention.
So the Kings trying to shut the Taipans down. Taipans will have the last shot, but hopefully the Kings will get a stop because they deserve to go in at halftime tied up. It's neither team really able to establish any kind of momentum, but I'd say that the Kings have just slightly outplayed the Taipans in this first half. Really, it's been Cam Tregar who's kept the game. So inbounds and immediately with 9 seconds left.
Oh, well, they can do that because they're far.
Yeah, there's only, that's right. That's just their third team foul.
Yeah.
And it'll be Craig to inbound the ball. He finds Glidden, and he's fouled by Joyce. So they take Damien Cotter just wanting a look at what Cairns were going to run. And 2 quick fouls, so they can't foul now. Next foul will put Cairns in the penalty. So here's Craig looking to inbound the ball. Finds Glidden. Oh, almost laid it off to Bruce, who would have been an over and back violation. 2 seconds left. 1. Glidden looking to attack the hoop, and it's in and out, but he drew the foul. And that's a heartbreaker with 0.8 seconds left.
The same exact thing, Matt. They did a real good job of those 2 fouls, kind of disrupting them, kind of delaying time off the clock, and then to allow for that penetration for the foul.
And Cam Glidden makes the first. Glidden on the year, 75% free throw shooter. Second one is good. So 0.8 of a second left. It'll be Kendrick Perry just a launch one and missed it. And that's the end of the half. It's half time here at the Kingdome. The score, Cairns 47, Sydney 45. And Bruce, as we said, a very well played half of basketball by both teams.
Yeah, no, the Kings should be pretty happy about being in this position at the moment against a team like Cairns. Cairns, I'm sure Aaron will be a little disappointed of being in this position, knowing that when they're on the road, they want to play a lot better and have that little 5+ point buffer, because when you're on the road, you're already down 10 points because of your unfamiliar surroundings. So I'm sure he's going to go in halftime and have a chat to them about what they're doing to their on-ball screen situation with that double. Damon, on the other hand, he's going to say aggressive, keep doubling those on ball. They're also doubling when the ball gets down on the post. So it's working for the kids. They just need to get probably a little bit more click within their offense.
Might just run through the halftime stats with you before we go to a break. So we're going to take it'll be a 7-minute break. So the Taipans are shooting 50 from the field for their 47 points. They're 3 of 12 from 3, so they've struggled from the 3-point line. They're 8 of 10 from the free throw line for 80%. They're led by Trigar. He was absolutely outstanding in that first half. 6 of 8 from the field. He's got 14 points. Scotty Wilbekin really got into the game. 3 threes. He's got 9 points. And Cam Glidden has 10. So the second Taipan player in double figures. For the Kings, they shoot 48%, pretty creditable. 6 of 30. So they're getting some good looks. 13 of 17 from the free throw line. So they've gotten to the free throw line extremely well, Bruce, as we said.
What I like about the stats here, too, is they have 9 assists. That's great for the first half.
Kendrick Perry with 14 first half points leads for the Kings. Ben Madgen has 9. And off the bench, Jason Gadee with those 2 threes. He's got 6. Cody Ellis has 5. Kings shooting, as we said, 48% from the field. Rebound count favours the Kings, 15 to 13. But one of the things, Bruce, including 8 offensive rebounds, which has been good. They have given up 7 offensive rebounds to the Taipans, though.
Yeah. You would expect that because Cairns, they're a big team with some very mobile.
Okay, so with that, we're going to take a break. So make sure you stay with us. You're listening to Sydney Ball on the Sydney Kings Radio Network.
Threes has been making great Australian products since 1919. R18 has been making great Australian products since 1919.
Welcome back to the Kingdome with about 2 minutes left to the end of the halftime break. Cairns up 47-45, and Bruce, if there's one thing I know, it's your first 5 minutes of the third quarter that you always talk about. Today more than ever, they're going to be absolutely vital.
Well, it is, and I think you're going to have both coaches who are pointing out the start of this third quarter from different angles. I'm sure Damien will tell these guys to come out with that same aggression, doubling the on-ball situation, doubling down low. Probably also tell them to be a little bit more patient in offense. And Aaron be coming out telling them, we got to get back on track offensively. We can't let their double and their defense disrupt their offense. And I'd like to see in the second half the tempo goes where it's a lot more up and down. Both teams have been in that half-court set, and it's worked I think in the Kings' favor. Cairns more like to get out and run a little bit, get that ball to an on-ball screen to situation to Loudon, let Tragar get going down low, and unfortunately for the Kings, they haven't been able to do that.
Sydney will come back out with their starting unit: Perry, Madgen, White, Dunker, and Garlip. And Perry just with the one personal, Madgen with 2 personal fouls. Daniel Joyce, the only King in foul trouble, he's got 3 personal fouls. Taipans, Scotty Wilbekin with 2. So they protected him well in that second period.
Yeah.
Got him through that early foul trouble, so you'd expect him to be a bit more aggressive defensively coming out in this third period. So would you expect the Taipans to press up a little bit more? They really haven't pressed up that much, have they, Bruce? It's been token pressure here and there, but not really that full court aggression that they're really known for.
Yeah, Cairns are a team that energy for the offense. They're not a team that like to extend the ball up the court, up the floor, the defense up the floor, I should say. More so stabilize the defense with their made baskets in offense.
But here we go. It'll be Cam Glidden to inbound the ball, and Perry almost stole it. Those great long arms of his. And it's like you said, Bruce, you just feel like in a couple of years, the Kings had gotten him, say, track from being a pro. He's going to be something, I think.
Yeah, he'd be a totally different player.
Yeah. So here we go. Cairns in possession now. White steals it. Great play. Perry picks it up. Cairns are back. Perry just goes right to the rack. No, leaves it short. Manages to get the rebound, but it's out of bounds. And
unlucky
Perry,
for him.
Unlucky. Just a great move, sort of double clutched, flying layup, and just left it short. And so the Kings are going to play full court, and Kevin White and Stephen Way's not happy with Kevin White at the moment. And White's giving up several inches, but he's
Kevin White is just playing aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Vaughn Mayberry just having a word to him. White just sort of with a bit of a smile.
Vaughn, you just leave him alone. Let him
yeah,
play.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with what Kevin was doing then. Kings playing full court pressure here, and now they call it off. So here's Cam Glidden, guarded by Madgen. Loudon, top of the key. Hasn't really got himself untracked yet offensively. Stevie Way now bursting. Again, they're just passing around the perimeter. Here's Wilbekin, and there's a foul as Garlip looked to jump out, and that'll be Tommy Garlip's second foul. Kings first. Stephen Way to inbound right in front of us. Finds Loughton, and now Matty Burston. Now Wilbekin, guarded by Perry to Loughton. Now Glidden, wide open. Glidden, 3-ball, bang!
Nice look.
So Cam Glidden hits the first basket of the period. He's got 11, and the Taipans lead is 5.
Good
50 to 45.
Good patient offense for Cairns that time.
Here's Garlip trying to back it down. Finds Madgen, right-hand dribble. Madgen up fakes. Madgen has to give it up to Garlip. Good defense by the Taipans that time. Garlip from 18 feet hits it.
Yeah, he likes that.
So Tommy Garlip faces up, launches it, hits it. Kings' first basket of the period. It's 50 to 47. Loughton, guarded by Garlip, lays it off to Wilbekin, who's been hot from beyond 3. Now Burston. Again, they just swinging around the perimeter. Here's Glidden. Glidden finds Loughton straight away. Looks at a 3, turns it down. Now Wilbekin. Perry harassing his friend. Wilbekin hits dribble. Perry's there. Throws it to Loughton, and Loughton can't get it off.
Nice defense.
What's a sensational defensive stop by the Sydney Kings by Kendrick Perry.
And you know what? Right now they got the double team in their head every time there's an on-ball screen situation.
Here's Kendrick Perry. Finds Dunker. Dunker back and it's out of bounds. Matty Burston looked for the steal and Dunker was basically wide open and did the right thing, went hard to the basket, just didn't finish it. But it's still Kings' possession.
Hopefully he was getting ready to launch the dunk.
It'll be so they're saying 14 on the shot clock. Just double checking the shot clock and they're saying it's 14 seconds, so they've cleared that up. Kendrick Perry will be inbounding the ball. So here's and they throw it away straight to Alex Loughton from Perry. So turnover, Taipan possession. So here's Wilbekin, harassed by Perry. He's all over him. Eventually finds Burston. Burston looking for someone to pass to. Burston just throws up a wild shot, misses. Taipan's crashing the boards, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Kings. So that'll give the Taipans possession. Just that size inside. It's just so tough to deal with.
Yeah.
But the Kings really playing hard. They're playing with good effort, good energy. Loughton with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Way. Way, right-hand dribble. Way, off the window. No good. Knocked out again, this time by Burston. Wilbekin launches a three. It's short that time, and Dunker pushed off. And that's going to be a foul on Josh Dunker. He pushed off Matt Burston. So right now, the Kings just can't secure a D-board, Bruce, and it's hurting them.
Well, they just need to hang in there. Just have a little bit more patience. Don't get frustrated.
Way inbounds the ball to Glidden. 12 on the shot clock. Glidden getting a pick. Still Glidden. Now finds Burston, now Wilbekin. Loughton's got a mismatch. They can't find him. Wilbekin now launches it from 18 and swish.
Yeah, tough.
Scotty Wilbekin, he's got 12.
He had a lot of options there.
Check that 11, and the Taipans are back out by 5, 52-47. So Kings will need to respond here. Dunker, White, looking for Dunker, finds him, and then it's knocked away, but there's a foul. It'll be on Cameron Glidden. So that's his second. It's going to be Duncan will be out to Garlop. Now Imagine with 9 on the shot clock. Imagine looking for Garlop. He finds him. They double team Garlop. He steps through Garlop off the window and he scores.
Nice way to squeeze between two players.
Play by Tommy Garlop. And it's back to 3, 52-49. So here's Wilbekin. Gets it back from Way. Still Wilbekin. Now he dumps it down low. Way going to back down Kevin White. Garlop comes to double team quickly, so he finds Wilbekin. Now Glidden. Glidden slips over. Oh, Imagine. He's called Imagine for a blocking foul. Maybury, the crowd's not happy. And
yeah, I'd be upset if I was Madge as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just because he tripped don't mean it's
yeah, Imagine there was nothing there. Just look at the replay. Oh, that's a terrible call. Terrible call. If anything, Glidden flopped. If anything, he accentuated the contact. Bad call by the official. So it'll be Way to inbound. Kings down by 3. So they get it inbound. And here's Wilbekin, baseline jumper.
He's
yes.
trying to get going.
So Wilbekin is starting to heat up, and it's 54-49. Wilbekin with 13 in the game. Imagine uses a pick from Garlop. Still Imagine. And now it's an offensive foul. So they call Garlop for an elbow or a hook.
Yeah,
and it's Mayberry again. He's calling for an elbow. That's Garlop's third foul. He's going to have to take a seat.
Well, Garlop just tried to lock Wade behind him so he can get the high-low action, and just probably the elbow might have been just a little too high.
So here's Wilbekin. Guarded by Perry. 5-point lead for the Tigers. And this is a dangerous period for Sydney. Perry harassing Wilbekin, but he gives it up to Burston, who sets a pick. Now it's Perry, one-on-one against Wilbekin. Wilbekin floats in the lane, is short, tipped in by Matty Burston. Just that too big inside, that size is really hurting the Kings right now. And the Taipans have their biggest lead of the ball game, 7 points, 56-49. Perry using a pick, trying to get it back. That's a poor decision. Matty Burston steals it to Wilbekin. Wilbekin goes into the paint and he's fouled hard by White. And they've called an unsportsmanlike foul on Kevin White. And the crowd like that because Kevin White, I don't know, Bruce. I mean, let's have a look at the replay on the big screen. And
yeah, well, you know what the problem was is the intent of it. He would have been better to the basket and then followed him with a little bit of aggression there.
He went up. He actually fouled him before he went up. That was the key.
Yeah.
But it's a crucial time for the Kings now. They're struggling to stay with the Taipans, who all of a sudden have pushed out to a 7-point lead. And Wilbekin's on the line for 2, and they get possession back. Unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah.
And it's these periods, Bruce, that we've seen throughout the year. These little 2 or 3 minute periods that have really let this team down.
Yeah.
And they've played very well up to this point. There's no two ways about it. But and it's happened in their losses where they've been either in control or they've been in touch, and they just have these 2 to 3 minute periods where they go walkabout.
Yeah.
Using the Australian term.
And the thing is I'm sure Damien would have said to them, get ready for Cairns to make the adjustments from the first half, but maintain our patience offensively, get that ball and make it to that extra pass, and stay aggressive defensively. It's just that the Kings haven't been able to do anything offensively, which have opened things up for Cairns. And Wilbekin is really taking it upon himself.
He is, Wilbekin's been the difference, without a doubt. Wilbekin's the difference right. He's got 13 in the game, and so the Kings down by 7, and Perry's out of the game at the moment, so this will be interesting. So Kadee, Madgen, White. So I'm not sure why he's sat Kendrick Perry down. Anyway, here's Wilbekin at the line, makes the first. So Scotty Wilbekin has been absolutely outstanding. He's got 14 with 1 to come. Make it 15. 58-49. Wilbekin was 6 in this period and is really the one that's taken over this game. So the Taipans lead by 9 and they've got possession. 58-49. Burston. Kings have got to get a stop here. It's crucial. Kevin White has been tasked with stopping Wilbekin. Good luck. Glidden. Waiting for a pick. Gets it from Burston. Now he finds Stevie Way. Way gives it up to Burston. Nice pass, but Burston leaves it short. Gets the rebound, but it's blocked by Cody Ellis. Great play. He's White on the break. White, Taipans are back. Finds Ellis. Now Kadee. Kadee uses a pick. Finds Madgen left side. Madgen pulls up. That's good.
Nice.
Madgen pulls up from the elbow, knocks it down. Much needed basket for the Kings.
It is, and now they need to get a defensive stop here.
So they've already got 1 off that miss and that block shot. Down by 7. Glidden knocked away. Good hands by Kadee.
Again.
And there's the deflections we talked about. It's out of bounds. And Sean Bruce is going to come out to replace Keem Glidden. So this is interesting. They're going to run 2 point guards for a while, Bruce and Wilbekin. Glidden, who hasn't really been as effective as we would expect, takes a seat. Now here's White bodying up on Wilbekin, very physical. Finds Trigger, jumper, short, gets his own rebound, right hand hook shot, no good. Knocked out by, and what have we got here? It's saying, I believe it's offensive goaltending, and it is. No basket. It looked like, I think Burston pulled down the rim. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So that's offensive goaltending, and it'll be the Kings with possession. So there's the second straight stop.
Yep.
For the Kings, and they've got to make it count.
Yep, need to get a good offensive possession here.
Kevin White. Guarded by Way. He's looking for Ellis. Instead, it's Kadee on the curl. Now Angus Brandt, top of the key. Brandt, 7 on the shot clock. They're wasting a lot of time. Sets a pick. Madgen goes into the rack. Madgen banks it. Good. So Madgen with back-to-back baskets, and it's a 5-point game. It's 58-53. 4:18 left in the third period. Look at the harassment from White. He steals it. Great play. Super defensive play by Kevin White. Knocked it away from Wilbekin. Kings get 3 straight stops. So there it is. Kadee. Madgen, who's been hot. Madgen looking to attack. Madgen throws it out to Brandt. Almost fumbles it away. Brandt does fumble it away. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible play. Angus Brandt lost it. And the Taipans have possession. Now Tregar with a huge mismatch on Kadee. Throws it cross court to Way for three. That's a brick. And it's Tregar should have been called for a foul over the back. Instead, he knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, what he did, he gave Kings the ball.
Loughton and Torrey Craig come into the game for Way and Burston. And the Kings have 4 straight stops now, Bruce.
Yeah.
But again, you can't afford those bad turnovers. It's just Angus Brandt. He's got to be better than that. He's got to be better than that. He's got to be stronger. He's got to be tougher.
Yep.
Nonetheless, Kings possession in the front court. Kevin White. White looking for Kadee. Finds him. Kadee for three, and it's short. And Damien Cotter, furious, just stamps his foot right in front of us.
I don't think he wanted that shot.
No, Bruce to Tregar, up fakes. Tregar in the paint. Tregar kicks it out to Bruce. Baseline three, bang!
Big
shot. That hurts. That's a 6-point turnaround right there. And the Taipans are back out by 8, 61-53. Kadee missed a 3 down one end, and Sean Bruce went bang at the other. Here's Madgen off a curl. Madgen, they go to him quickly. Kevin White steps in, 3, short. And Tregar knocks it out of bounds. No, it's knocked out by the Kings.
That was a long 3 from Kevin.
Yeah, too far out. It was too far out of his range. That was NBA range right there. So it's Taipans possession leading by 8, 61-53. 2:55 left in the third period. Here's Wilbekin. Baseline 3, yes! So Angus Brandt didn't put a hand up, and Alex Loughton said thank you very much, and it's an game. That's the Taipans' biggest. Back-to-back threes, and all of a sudden, they're out by double figures with 2:36 left in the third period. Madgen, 8 on the shot clock. Madgen goes into the paint, throws it up, and he's fouled. And he'll earn himself a trip to the line, blocking foul. Perry and Garlop are going to come into the game to replace White and Brandt. It'll be Madgen at the line, and this Cairns team so dangerous.
Yeah.
Wilbekin showed the way early, and then just like that, you get Loughton, who's been quiet, into 3.
Yeah.
Sean Bruce hits it.
What they've done in the last couple of minutes, Cairns, they've avoided the unballed double situation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of freed it up for them offensively. Kings, with their lineup out here now, they got a good offensive. Got to make sure they buckle down on the defensive end.
2-2 of the line for Madge, and it's 64-55. So the Kings looking for another stop. Sobe's foot. It's a poor turnover in the backcourt. So the Kings get the stop they need. And it'll be Kings' possession in the front court. Aaron Fern would be absolutely furious with that. And Cam Glidden's going to come into the game to replace Sean Bruce. I thought he would have pulled Nathan Sobey for
I was thinking the same thing.
That fumble off his foot. So 2:25 left. Still plenty of time in the period for the Kings to eat into this lead. Madgen getting absolutely harassed by Sobey off the ball. So they find Kadee instead. Kadee, there's a double team. He finds Garlop. Garlop goes into the paint. Garlop up fakes. Garlop scoring the foul. What a play by Tommy Garlop.
Nice, smart play.
Brucey identified the mismatch with Torrey Craig and just went hard at him. Looking at the replay, just got him in the air, off the window. Great play, Tommy Garlop. He goes to the line for the N1, and suddenly the Kings have scored 4 straight, and they're back in it.
Yeah. There's also a good record for Jason Kadee recognizing the opportunity.
Yeah, the Kings, when they get it through hands and they run their stuff, even if Madgen, they don't have that primary option, they look very good. I mean, they can do a lot of things off the ball, the Kings.
Well, like I said, particularly with this lineup here, because it's a very good offensive lineup.
Garlop at the line for the N1. Ball in the air, it's good. 3-point play, Tommy Garlop. Kings have 5 straight, and it's back within 6. It's 64-58 with 2:10 left in the third period. Glidden bringing the ball up under intense pressure from Perry, who's all over him. Finds Loughton, Ellis all over him. Back to Glidden. 10 on the shot clock. Again, the Kings extending this pressure. Glidden trying to beat it. Glidden, still Glidden. 4 on the shot clock. Gets it down low to Tregar, and a great pass. They identify the mismatch, and Trigger finishes.
Yeah,
66-58.
He positioned himself real well.
Perry, 1:43 left in the third period. Ellis sets a pick for Kadee, and he's fouled. by Torrey Craig, and that's the 4th team foul for Cairns.
Yep.
Kings already in the penalty. Cairns will be in the penalty next time.
Well, Craig
up.
is also starting to get exploited from a defensive point of view. That's 2 fouls on him in a row, so they should continue to go at him because he's just not positioned himself to play good solid D without getting a foul.
10 on the shot clock. Here's Perry looking for going this way and that. He's hounded by Sobey. Finds Garlop with 3 on the shot clock. Garlop against Loudon goes behind his back, turns, fires, and that's after the shot clock. He made it, but no basket. So Cairns get a stop. So the Kings, that's not identifying the shot clock, and they paid for it. And Garlop's going to set his furies. He's replaced by Dunker. And Madgen comes out, replaced by Joyce. Obviously, they're looking for defensive purposes for Joyce particularly.
Yeah, you took out one of your good offensive scores.
Taipans possession, up by 8. Here's Sobey. Finds Loughton. Loughton to Glidden. Glidden going baseline. Turns, goes into the paint. Reverse layup is good. Cam Glidden, what a great play. And it's back to 10, 68-58. So the Kings made a charge, but the Taipans have responded. Here's Ellis in the paint. Guarded by move. Still Ellis. Ellis loses it, gets it back. Still Ellis. Ellis goes into the paint. It's slapped away. Great play by Loudon. Here's Sobey on the break. Sobey goes into the paint. Rejected by Perry, who throws it out athletically out of bounds to the Taipans. What a play by Kendrick Perry.
Nice and good defense from Jason, chasing him down and forcing him into a tough left-handed attempt.
40 seconds left. 16 on the shot clock. Glidden. Guarded by Perry. Glidden. And there's a foul. Kendrick Perry, that's a bad foul. You can't reach, and he did. Dwayne McLean always used to say, you reach, I teach.
Yeah. Yeah. You cannot do that.
You can't do that, and it was a foul, and all the way. And
especially right there
and
in front of the...
And the Kings in the penalty, and that's just a bad decision.
Well, it's inexperience.
Yeah, and we've talked about that, haven't we, Bruce? Just that the inexperience of him, and that's the sort of foul you will get as Glidden makes 2 of 2 at the line to make him pay for that. And it's their biggest lead of the game. It's 12 now, 70-58, 30 seconds left. So the Kings trying to finish this period on a high. Ellis, Dunker, Perry on the left side, finds Kadee. Kadee gets a pick from Dunker, still Kadee. Now Ellis, up fakes a 3. Now he steps back, he launches it, and he's short. Tip in by Dunker, no, in and out. Dunker got a hand in it, but it just missed. The Taipans have got time. There's 8 seconds left. Glidden with possession. 6, 5, 4. Inside to Trigar. Left hand off the right hand off the window. No good. And can't secure the O board. And that's the end of the third period. But it was a period controlled by the Taipans. And they've got now to a 12-point lead. It's Cairns 70. The Mighty Might Sydney Kings 58. That period, Bruce, 23-13 for the Taipans.
Yeah, it wasn't a good offensive quarter for the Kings. They weren't able to disrupt Cairns their offense. They had that unsportsmanlike that didn't
kind
help.
of turned the momentum a little bit, didn't it? Because the Kings, they did get to 6 points after they were down by 10, but then that unsportsmanlike pulled it out to 11 again. And they just haven't been able to put much of a dent in it, have they?
You also had Wilbekin, who had a good third quarter as well.
Wilbekin was great. And then, of course, those 2 threes, one by Sean Bruce, one by Alex Loughton, they hurt. I mean, 23 points is not bad. It's not great defensively, but it's not bad from the Kings.
But you have to counter that with some offense yourself.
Yeah, that's it. And they just never got it going.
12 points is not enough.
And look, credit to the Taipans, Bruce. They did up the intensity defensively. You have to say that.
Yeah. So this fourth quarter here is going to require the Kings to get back to that same aggression and dig deep, get some more deflections, and really show, really come out with that energy. They need more energy than Cairns.
We talked about the first 5 minutes of the third period. I think even more so now, the first 5 minutes of this period. If they can't get this into single figures, it's going to be very hard to get back into this because Cairns, very good front-running team that we know. And if you can't put some scoreboard pressure on them, Bruce, and they just weren't able to do that in this period.
No, and the thing is Cairns' offense helped their defense. in that first half, their offense didn't help their defense, and that's why the Kings kind of controlled things in the first half.
So 7 seconds left to the end of the halftime break. And 4 straight games at home, Bruce, and that's equaled their 3rd longest losing streak at the Kingdome in history, in their franchise history. The worst, of course, is that 7 games in a row they lost in the return season, the 2010-2011 season.
Yeah. It's interesting, the start of this fourth quarter, you have Daniel out there, probably from a defensive point of view.
We're underway with Tommy Garlop. Now Joyce finds Dunker. Dunker looking for someone to get it to, finds Perry. Kings look a little bit out of sync here. Perry getting a pick, now finds Madgen. Madgen, 8 on the shot clock. Madgen stepped through, Madgen forced it up. Rebound, Loughton, 3 players fall to the floor. But the Taipans, they're all okay. Taipans possession. So that was a bad possession by the Kings. Bruce. They just looked completely out of sorts there.
I think, and Garland was a little upset because he had his man posted, and I think that's what the play was for.
So now they drive to the basket, missed it. 2 Kings knock each other out, and Wilbekin comes away with it. Now Craig up fakes a baseline 3, back to Loughton. Loughton straight away 3, bang!
Tough.
And that right there, even with 9 minutes to go, Bruce, that gives them a 15-point lead. And as soon as he launched that, I actually thought dagger, because it's going to be hard for the Kings from here. Garlop banging bodies with Tregar, fades away and in and out. And Dunker trying to chase down the rebound, but Glidden comes away with it. So, and this is what these Taipan teams do from Aaron Fern. They grind you out. Now Lawton for another 3. That's long this time. Perry rips down the rebound. That would have been the dagger. Here's Joyce on the break. Joyce goes into the paint, off the window, no good. Rebound Wilbekin.
Good aggression.
Wasn't the greatest decision. He had Loughton right in front of him. He should have just pulled it out and run a play. So the Taipans lead is 15 with 8:26 left. Nice pass inside to Wilbekin, and he up-faked Perry out of his bootstraps and scored off the window. Taipans with the opening 5 points. They lead by 17, and already, Bruce, the crowd has just got that. You can feel the energy in the crowd just went out of the building, and this is going to be very hard for the Kings to come back from this.
Well, that play was allowed to happen because there was no ball pressure on Glidden. He just threw a direct pass to Wilbekin because he had, he had behind him because Perry had got tripped on the screen.
Wilbekin with 17 in the ball game, and we have to be realistic about this and say on the Cairns team, they're fighting for a championship this year. That's what they're after. I mean, and they're a favourite. They're right up there. And a Sydney team without Josh Childress that's fighting hard, but they're just making too many mistakes, too many fundamental errors.
Yeah, and as much as Cairns are in the top position, they know that this time of year you need to have some momentum going into the playoffs. Yeah. And they're not going to let teams like a Kings or any other team for that matter disrupt their momentum going into the playoffs.
And I was just going to say, particularly after Friday night, that they were terrible and characteristic from them terrible.
Yeah.
And they've been terrific this year at protecting the ball. There was a lot of things that happened in that. People came out and said, well, have they been exposed and are they really tough enough? And, they've responded today and they've done a great job because the Kings have thrown everything at them, particularly in that first half, but they've stood strong. And in typical Aaron Fern fashion, they're starting to really grind the Kings down. And Sydney have got to make some sort of move in the next 3 or 4 minutes or this could really get ugly. Kendrick Perry in possession finds Garlop. Now Madgen to Dunker. Perry right side, gets a pick from Dunker. Comes all the way to the top of the key. Now Madgen. Madgen getting a pick, gets it back to Garlop on the pick and roll. Garlop with a nice little move inside, draws the foul.
Yeah, good move there. Really, really good move.
Sort of an up and under and drew the foul, missed it off the window. And it's Bruce, not to disrespect Daniel Joyce, but he's not known for his offense. The Kings are down 17, and you wonder why Kadee or Ellis or Brand or somebody is going to score as Garlop misses a free throw. But it's a very strange substitution or very strange situation to have Joyce out there right now.
Also can allow your offense to then set things up for your defense. And that's where they got to make sure the ball go between the basket to do that.
Gallup with 1 of 2 at the line. That's the Kings' first point in this period. 75-59 to Cairns, 7:55 left in the ball game. Here's Loughton, guarded by Gallup, slapping at his ball. Nice pass to Gallup from Gallup to Wilbekin, but he missed the short shot off the window. Rebound Dunker.
Yeah.
Magin gets a huge pick from Gallup. Still Magin. Floater in the paint over Loughton. Just off one leg. Forced it up and in, and it's 75-61.
Keep being aggressive. Now the Kings need to get another defensive stop here.
Magin with 17 in the ball game. Glidden finds Wilbekin. Wilbekin pulls up beyond 3. That's long this time. Perry skying for the board, but it's knocked out of bounds by Daniel Joyce. Kevin White's going to come in and replace Joyce. And again, no disrespect to Kevin, but Kevin's not known as an offensive player. So right now, you need scoring. I mean, they've got Magin and Gallup and Perry. Now they bring Kadee in, but he's going to take Perry out. So Daniel Joyce sat down, replaced by Kevin White. So it's interesting substitution pattern. Meanwhile, Way looking for someone to pass it into, finds Loughton going baseline. Double team, has to give it up to Glidden, and the Taipans will. And there's an offensive foul off the ball. They call the foul on Alex Loughton. Too much of the elbow.
Yeah, it was a moving screen.
Sydney possession. 7:07 left in the game. Kings down by 14, 75-61. Kadee, Gallup, Dunker. White, left side, guarded by Wilbekin, has been terrific again today. Magin now gets the ball top of the key. Magin drives hard to the rack and is fouled by Loughton. So once you, as you said, Bruce, Magin, he'll go down swinging. We know that.
Yeah.
And stay aggressive, and you can make things happen.
Well, if they're going to get the ball in his hand every possession, I'll take that. Otherwise, if there's someone else, they need to be aggressive and get in the seams and create some offensive opportunities.
Loughton takes the seat, replaced by Matty Burston, and Magin at the line. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 17 points. And make it 18 on the swish. So one of the things that the Taipans have to be wary of is the foul count. They've already committed 3 team fouls. Kings none in this period. Magin 2-2 at the line. He's got 19, and the Kings are down by 12.
Not a bad. They're in an okay position.
75-63. Yep, exactly. But meanwhile, Trigar, that's too easy, but he throws it up, misses. They chase down the rebound though with Glidden. He pulls it out. Finds Burston. Burston looking for someone to pass to. Now eventually finds Way. And the Taipans will reset. Here's Wilbekin with 12 on the shot clock, guarded by Kadee. Calling for a pick from Burston. He gets one. Wilbekin, hesitation dribble. Wilbekin travelled, got away with it. Got it inside to Trigar, threw it up, but he was fouled by Gallup. And I could have sworn that Wilbekin, he took a giant double hop.
Well, here's the thing. If you come down 1-2, that's a travel.
Yeah, he came down 2 feet.
Yeah, you come down on what's called a bunny hop.
Yeah, it was the bunny hop. Yeah. It just looked, the first time, it looked like he picked up his dribble, took a step, then jumped.
Yeah.
So.
Not to mention he jumped a long distance. Like
he did, yeah. Anything else. Trigger bangs home for free throw. 7.
IT guru had.
And misses the second, but Matty Burston chases down the O board. And isn't that the story? It's just a killer, Bruce. Yeah, O board off a missed free throw.
Just a breakdown.
Wilbekin crosses over. Sweet move. Misses though. Rebound Kevin White. Just absolutely crossed Kevin White over. Meanwhile, here's Magin attacking the hoop off the window short. And they fight for the board, and Brandt's going to be called for the foul. He knocked over Trigger. And Damien Cotter just telling his troops to press up the floor.
Up. Yes, they need
which
to.
Which they have to with 6 minutes left.
They're still okay. 6 minutes left. They're down 13.
Timeout Cairns.
Opportunity now to have a quick discussion about their full court D.
So there's a timeout here. And yeah, I mean, they've kept Cairns to 1 point in the last 2 minutes, Bruce. That defensively, they definitely picked it up. It's just offensively that it seems like it's Magin or bust at the moment.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that, and they're going to have to realize that, one, he's either going to get tired or Cairns is going to make the adjustments of forcing someone else to Jesus. That's
Holy
really
cow.
dangerous.
The Lion just shooting T-shirts into the crowd right in front of us, and he was a little bit short on one of them from the bazooka gun and nearly hit Bruce and I square in the face.
I'll check my insurance policy.
I don't know if you can hear it in the background on the call, but the Lions are shooting this huge air gun. Oh, look out! He's going to fire at us again. Watch out! Oh, there we go. It's a bit better.
I don't think the Lion know the angle that he needs. He lifted a little bit,
just a touch, and it's kind of dying, isn't it? He just shot one, and the kid just ran baseline and caught it. Nice play.
Yeah, that was like a cricket catch.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. So, only problem is he's popping these things out. There's feathers going everywhere, and it means it's going to take ages to clean this court up. So just.
And I think the Lion really enjoyed the sound effect, knowing that it's going some distance.
It's going distance, and look what he's wearing. He's got the full camo gear on.
Oh yeah, he's ready for the Terminator.
We're just going to have a little delay in play here as they continue to clean this court up. So it'll be Sean Bruce to inbound the ball from the baseline. Again, it's Cairns 76, Sydney 63. 6 minutes left. And again, just a delay because looks like they're still cleaning up bits and pieces from the floor. And Damien Cotter just said, there's the towel, got to pick it up. So ball back in play. Taipans break the pressure. Wilbekin, they're on the break, and the Kings are back. So the Kings, they've got to press up aggressively. Wilbekin, again with a sweet move. Foul by White, no call. Now finds Trigger. Trigger going hard to the rack. Trigger off the window, no good. Tip in, no good. Slapped out by Burston. He's just too tall in there.
Yeah, he is.
How many times has he slapped that out tonight? That absolutely kills you as a coach. Trigger dumps it down low, but he throws it too hard, and Kadee picks it up.
Yep.
So can the Kings get something out of this? 5:28 left.
Patience.
Brand.
Around.
Kadee to White for three, and it's well long. Imagine diving in for the board, saves it nicely. Here's Garlop, back to White. White wide open, he's got to hit it, and he doesn't. Rebound Burston, and the crowd groans.
Well, I can tell you this much, he was that wide open where he probably could have stepped in and took a two-pointer. That would have been just as effective, as long as that.
Now Burston rolls to the hoop, and he's fouled by Brandt. Brandt just not moving his feet quickly enough.
Not
And
at all.
you get the sense, Bruce, that that could have been the last hurrah for the Kings. Kevin White, he was 6 of 8 from 3 against Adelaide, and it hasn't happened for him tonight, unfortunately. He's 0 of 4 from the field.
Yeah. Might be an opportunity to put Coley out there. You know, he just definitely hit the 3 for sure, and even the from that offensive point of view, utilizes him right now.
Burston makes the first. And it's a 14-point ball game with one more to come. Burston's second is good. So Matthew Burston gives the Taipans a 15-point advantage with 5 minutes left.
Kings need a score here.
Score and several stops. Garlop. Brandt. Magin. That's knocked out of bounds by Burston. There's a foul. So that'll be the 4th team foul. And Cairns' next foul for them will be the penalty. That's Burston's second. And it'll be White to inbound the ball from the opposite sideline to our commentary position. Gets it inbounds to Garlop. Garlop guarded by Trigger. Lays it off to Kadee on a curl. Kadee dumps it down low to Brandt. Brandt left hand shot inside. And really, that's the first time he's got a good seal, and he scored. 78-6. Backing down, Brandt. Spin move. Fade away. Yes! Cameron Trigger. What a play. He has been awesome today. He's got 19, and it's back out by 15. Meanwhile, Garlop. Nice take. Score it in the foul. So Tommy Garlop still staying aggressive.
Yeah.
He scores. He's got 14 with 1 to come.
13-point lead by Cairns. Kings get a free throw shot here. Press up. Here comes Cole.
Finally. So they're going to get, now finally, they're going to get some offense out. But, yeah, I mean, again, Cairns have not blown this out by any stretch, and the Kings are hanging around. They just can't get anything going offensively when they really need it. Garlop hits a three-point play, so it's 12, 80-68. Tommy Garlop with 15 now in the game. Sean Bruce into the game. Finds Loughton, gives it off to Bruce. Yeah, they'll be looking to run some clock here. Cam Glidden with Kadee on him. Glidden, right-hand dribble. Glidden kicks it out. Bruce quickly. Wilbekin, baseline, three, long. Another offensive rebound, this time to Glidden, and he's fouled by Madgen. So, Cairns Taipans, that's their 18th offensive rebound. Bruce, they've got 18 offensive rebounds, 12 defensive rebounds. Incredible.
Yeah.
18 offensive rebounds. It just absolutely breaks your heart as a coach.
Yeah, and it's a tough because you look at the Kings lineup and Cairns lineup. Cairns got a big lineup out
Kings
there.
very small with Garlop at the 5 basically. So here's Wilbekin, 3:53 left. Dumps it out. Loughton stops, pops, long, and finally the Kings corral a rebound with Perry. So Perry, left-hand dribble. Perry loses it. Yeah. Just a terrible play. Fumbled it straight to the Taipans. Here's Bruce to trigger, score it, and that's the ball game. 82-68, 3:33 left, and that'll be all she wrote. Just a really terrible play. Just so unfortunate. It's happened a couple of times tonight where they've had these opportunities. Imagine up fakes. Nice pass to Garlop. Scores. So Tommy Garlop, nice. Good pass from Madgen. It's 82-70. 3:15 left. Glidden with the ball. Guarded by Madgen. Glidden crosses over, gets a pick. Now Garlop jumps out to defend him. Up fakes. Now Bruce, quickly to Wilbekin for 3, short, rebound Garlop. 3 minutes left, Kings down by 12. Here's Kadee, crosses over. Tries to find Ellis, but it's kicked by Loughton, and that'll be Kings' possession. Timeout's going to be called by Damien Cotter. So 2:51 left, Kings down by 12, and I mean, it's funny, Bruce. I called it because that was just such. It just seemed like the last straw, another turnover. But like you've been saying, it's still not over yet. It isn't over.
No, not at all.
But the Kings they're not executing when they have to. That's the problem.
Exactly right. Now, Kings have called a timeout. If they come out of this timeout and get a score, they're only down by 10. Put some full court pressure. See if they can create a turnover. Possibility of down by very much there. They just got to make sure they take care of things that's in their depth.
Absolutely. So, just watching the Harlequins do their routine to the appreciation of this crowd that probably around the 4,000 mark, which considering the circumstances, no Josh Childress and the Kings not in playoff contention any longer is quite impressive.
It just tells you how they are a popular team here. People like to come and support them. They like the entertainment that the Kings offer, and I think that also pays respect to the opposition. That's here today.
The Kings come out again with that small lineup: Kadee, Perry, Madgen, Garlop, and Ellis. Of course, Ben Madgen celebrated his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Ben. And he's going to inbound the ball to Kadee. 2:50 left. Kings desperately needing a score. Here's Ellis. And now Ellis almost loses it, but Kadee picks it up. Kadee harassed by Bruce. 8 on the shot clock. Kadee just slips over, loses it. Here's Bruce. Bruce, left-hand shot, no good. Tip in, offensive rebound. Trailer was Loughton. And if it wasn't over before, it surely is now. 14 points with 2:35 left. So Kadee just slipping over on that court day.
Yeah, they came out with an isolation for Cody to take his man.
He just fumbled it again, and it's these fumbles that have happened, and just a lot of mistakes at crucial times. Here's Garlop. They double team him. Finds Perry. Kings got to start thinking about threes now. Garlop just launches it and hits it.
Nice.
So Tommy Garlop having a fine game offensively. He's got 19. Kings down by 12. But time is a real factor now. 2:10 left. Here's Loughton. Great pass to Trigger, up fakes Trigger in the paint, score it. Cameron Trigger, he's got 23 and the Taipans lead by 14. Now Perry pulls up for 3, yes. So Perry hits one.
I think that might be his first score in the second half.
Yeah, it is. He's got 17 now, 14 at the half, 86-75. 148 left. Nice pass from Loughton inside to a cutting Cameron Glidden, who went baseline backdoor beautifully. And there's a lot of B's in there, Bruce Bolden. And it's 88-75. Now Madgen for 3, and he hits it. So the Kings back-to-back threes, and good credit to the Kings. They're hanging around to the end.
Still fighting.
They're still fighting, but it's 10 points with 90 seconds left. Wilbekin almost travelled, got away with it. Loughton cross-court pass to Glidden. Glidden for 3, and that's long. Rebound, Garlop knocked out of bounds by Loughton. Substitution with Stevie Way coming in to replace Cameron Trigger. So the Taipans going small as well. 1:19 left. And Perry with the ball. So here's Perry. Perry now finds Ellis. They've got to get it up. And Perry launches a 3, in and out. Rebound Wilbekin. That would have been interesting had he made that.
Yeah.
But he missed it. And it'll be Bruce with possession. Bruce almost stolen by Madgen. Bruce managed to get it back. Wilbekin with 14 seconds on the shot clock, 57 seconds on the game clock. Wilbekin isolating against Madgen, just blows right by him. Nice pass to Way. Layup is good.
Nice.
And 90-78, and that will do it. 45 seconds left. The Taipans will maintain their lead as Madgen launches a 3 off a curl that's long. Rebound Way, and this is just going to grind down. They're just going to let this run out. No sense in fouling. Game well and truly gone. Fine game, fine performance by Cairns in the second half, Bruce. That
very professional.
Thoroughly deserved performance. They've been terrific. As Loughton goes into the paint, and it's a blocking foul on Ellis. I can't believe that. Ellis looked like he was there forever.
And the referee looked like he wasn't quite sure what to call.
Crowd behind us, if you can hear it, not happy, but they've called the foul, and Nathan Sobey's going to come into the game with the game safe. And Scotty Wilbekin, and he sits down, and what a game he had. 17 points, 3 rebounds, just 2 assists, but whenever he was on the floor, Bruce, he just made good things happen all night.
Yeah, he did.
Really solid performance.
Yeah. Great court leader.
He really is, but Cameron Trigger, the player of the game, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 10 of 17 from the field. It's trouble. So the Kings to play to see his first action of the with 20 seconds left. It'll be Alex Loughton to shoot the free throw, and he makes it. And Loughton was started the game pretty quietly, Bruce, but sort of worked his way into it, and he's been terrific in the second half, like a lot of the Taipans.
Yeah, he had that big third quarter.
Makes both of them, and it's 92-78. 20 seconds left. Here's Kadee looking for Trustum. He finds him. They want Trustum to shoot this. Trustum guarded by Loughton, gives it up. Back to Kadee. 10 seconds left. Kadee's going to launch a deep 3. That's long. Trustum can't track down the rebound. Sobey's got it. They're not going to foul. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and that's it. It's all over, and the Cairns Taipans have won their 18th game of the year with a very impressive 92-78 win over a Sydney Kings team that, Bruce, you have to say, kept fighting all the way. Again, it really came down, I think, in the end. Cairns' size was just too much, and also the Kings just breaking down, making mistakes at crucial times.
Yeah, and you know, when you get in a situation where you need to execute against a team like Cairns, who you've done a great job in the first half, you got to continue that in the second half, just disrupt them. You need to, and also be prepared when Cairns do make adjustments in the second half. And I don't think the Kings. Offensively, the Kings wasn't in sync because they didn't have anything to come out with after, from a defensive stop.
And Cairns, really showing that they're a team to be reckoned with, Bruce, this year. I mean, they took everything Sydney threw at them. Remembering, of course, that they played in Perth on Friday. Obviously, the Kings played in Adelaide, and that kind of hurt them a little bit. I thought the energy level definitely wasn't the same in the second half as it was in the first, especially defensively. But that was a big win for the Taipans, and to actually cement their spot in top spot, and it's really up to them. They're the ones that are in charge now, so they win every game from here on out. They'll win their first minor premiership in franchise history, get home court advantage on the play. For them, that's going to be huge because they're a great team at home.
Yeah, they are, and I'm sure Aaron probably more pleased with the second half, the way they came out. First half, it's probably something where he's going to, make some points to the guys when they have their video session, because again, it's a crucial time of the year to build some momentum, become a tighter team, and just make a couple little adjustments, so therefore they are ready come finals time.
Just going to run through the final stats as we get them before we sign off here. And once again, that score, the Cairns Taipans 92, the Sydney Kings 78. So just we'll run through the stats. Taipans shot 46% from the field, 34 of 74. They were 7 of 22 from 3, so they wouldn't be too happy about that. Great effort from the 17 of 20, 85%. The Taipans have 4 players in double figures, led by Cameron Tregar, as we said, 23 points, 5 rebounds, tremendous performance, 10 of 17 from the field. Scotty Welbekin, outstanding, we said, 17 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Cameron Glidden really heated up in that second half as well. He had 17 points, 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Alex Loughton, 12 points and 5 rebounds, did a good job in the second half. Matty Burston, 8 points and 8 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds to Matty Burston. And that was a big story, just his long frame. For the Sydney Kings, they certainly were beaten but by no means disgraced. Ben Madgen led the way for them with 22 points and 4 assists. Kenry Perry, a great start in the first half, but only 3 points in the second.
Yeah.
He finishes with 17 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Tommy Garlop just never stopped trying. 19 points on 7 of 9 shooting and 4 rebounds and 3 assists for Tom. 44% from the field, just 8 of 24 from 3. 20 of 25 from the free throw line was impressive for them. One of the huge stat in the game, of course, once again, the rebound count. Taipans won the rebound count 34-24, but the big story, the Taipans 19 offensive rebounds to Sydney's 11. That just absolutely destroys you. And then obviously the other thing, Bruce, points in the paint. Cairns, and you'd expect this, the Taipans 36 and the Kings 22. Turnover count, too many turnovers by the Kings, and a lot of them were unforced. 16 turnovers to 13 and for the Taipans, and those unforced errors. And the Taipans, to their credit, really took advantage of that. 18 points off Sydney's 16 turnovers. So with that, we're going to wrap up from the Kingdome here. It's once again been great to have your company this afternoon, and I certainly hope you've enjoyed the action. We will be back on air next Sunday, the 15th of February, for the Kingdome. From the Kings take on their arch rivals, the Wollongong, at 1:45 p.m, and that's one of those rivalry games you definitely don't want to miss.
Of course.
So on behalf of my broadcast partner, the great man Bruce Bolden, and our technical guru and producer James Bowman, who does a terrific job as always, it's been great to have your company on Sydney Kings Radio and Tune FM this afternoon. Stay safe wherever you are. Good afternoon.
Stay tuned.